was around 18 years old, for the first time in my life, I heard about Jesus from my auntie. I never met her in my life because when I was a very, very little child, she moved to England, and in England, she gave her heart to the Lord. But because of we are Muslim, she never say anything to us or to her parents. So I think she was 15 years walking with Jesus. Then she decided come to Iran and to share the gospel with us. And it was like a bomb, big bomb to all us, to all the family, because we grow up in Islamic mental, or my grandma's very, very fanatical. They were so fanatical, and all the family rejected her. And I remember my mom told her that, stop, don't talk anything about Jesus in my house. You are my guest here. I don't want to hear anything about Jesus. Exactly after 1 year of this, something happened to my father's business. And in that time, I was planning to go to Germany to visit my uncle and his wife, to stay with them for a few months. When I went there, now I can say by the grace of God, very easily I could get my visa, because as a single girl, young girl, it's not easy. And with my Iranian passport, actually, it's not easy to get a visa for Europe. So I went there, and I found out 6 months before I go to Germany, my uncle and his wife, they gave their heart to the Lord, and we didn't know. When I went there, they didn't say anything to me, but I saw the Bible in their house. I saw the language they talk to each other, or they praying together. I remember that after a few months, I went to my uncle and told him that, Uncle, I know you are Christian. Tell me what happened. And in that time, he started to share what happened to him. But before that, this is my testimony. I always tell everyone, really, from their life, I found out that I want to have their God, because from their life, without their words, they show me the real life. I think it was after 1 month, I said, okay, Lord, I received this peace, I received this joy, and something is burning inside of me that go and share this with your family. In the beginning, it was not easy, because my mom was really fanatical, very Muslim. Also my sister, my father, not very much, but my mom and sister, very, very. I said, Lord, how I can? But something was inside of me that, go, I will be with you. I remember in the airport, when my sister come and take me from there, in the airport, I said, my sister name is Layla. I said, Layla, this is the real. Lord has something good planned for our family. Even in the airport, I had so much passion to share about the gospel, because I received this and I wanted to save my family. I wanted to give this peace to them. I wanted they come out from these hard times. If you remember, I told you for my dad's business, something happened to his business, and that time my family, they were under pressure and on very, very, very hard times. And I believe God used that hard times, used their hearts to receive this joy. But it was not easy. I'm telling you, for 6 months, my mom was like, no, stop talking. They didn't talk to me actually in the beginning. And then after 6 months, she said that, yeah, I want this peace.
So at some point, the Lord gave you a vision for 7 churches, didn't he? For 7 different
cities. Yes. For 2 months we were praying and fasting. If Lord showed us which city we go, in one of our prayers, Lord showed us that. And actually in my heart, I had this confirmation from the Lord. I have to travel to a city called Esfahan. Esfahan is a really religious city in Iran. The people are so religion, all completely covered, all black. It's not easy to talk with them. But I remember for 1 year I traveled from Tehran to Esfahan every week to teach this. During this first year, we taught new believers, and they began to witness. And another family and several friends were added to our church. Then in that time, I decided, okay, I should move to Esfahan to help these people. In that time, after 1 year, when I got there, Lord spoke to me very, very clearly. And he said that he wanted to give us 7 churches in towns surrounding Esfahan. So I remember I said to the Lord, how is possible? How I can do it? I knew the answer would be fine in one word: Sara, prayer. So the first thing we did, we formed 7 evangelistic teams for these 7 towns. And we told to all these teams, for a few weeks, we just go there, walk around the towns and praying. God showed us this is the cities he wants to give us, so we want to start good, and let's pray. And I remember, John, we were walking to the cities, we were laying hands on the wall. Lord, this building, that building, this family, that family. It was really, really good. And I remember after this kind of praying like this, the first door opened in one town called Zarin Shah with 2 or 3 people. Then the church began to grow, and then a second door opened in another city called Fulachar. I love that church, Fulachar. The third door opened, 4th door opened, then the 5th, 6th, and we were so excited. I was super excited. There were about 100 believers, for us in that time, in one of the fanatical city. 100 believers, it is a big number in that time for us. Most of the 6 churches, when we planned, I will tell you about the 7, why we didn't do the 7. I will tell you the story later. The 6 started from their relatives, and their one relatives bringing another. And we were telling them that now for the next meeting, for example, invite one person from your family, bring them to the church, but be sure that they are trustful person. So, and they were coming and bringing their friends, families, relatives. Some of the grandmas and grandfathers were coming. Old men's and women's were coming. So this was like we were starting from 2 or 3, and these 2 or 3 will bringing their friends. We grow most from their relatives. This was the strategy actually Lord gave us. We were giving out the New Testament, for example, to one person in the park or in a supermarket, but it was not for us, it was not easy to immediately they tell them, okay, now we have church, you can come. I remember it took maybe 5 months, sometimes 4 months, sometimes, to really know this person is really with us, is a trustful person. Then we would invite them to the house church. But the relatives immediately they were in our churches. Yeah, I remember even in our cars, we were reading the Bible together. Some of the underground churches we had, it was in the car with them, 2 or 3 brothers in the car. We were reading the Bible, worshiping together, and just for security. If we could see, okay, they are trustful, then we would invite them. Okay, so now you passed your test, you can come to. But most was in the coffee shop. We were teaching them in the cars and in the parks. Yeah. March 2007 we started, and December 2010 I returned from Esfahan to Tehran to be with my family for New Year. And also it was in my month after New Year, and after New Year I returned to Esfahan to establish the 7, and they arrested me. On the morning of December 26, I still remember 6:50 a.m. There was a knock on our door, and my mom answered. and they said, we are from the police, let us in. If you don't open, we will break the door. So and we had a few, my mom was at the door talking, and I remember my sister and my father, we were breaking our SIM card, or if we had some, hiding our Bibles or hiding the laptops. But it was a few minutes, less than, I think, 3 minutes. My mom, she opened the door, and 5 angry policemen, how can I say, burst in. And this is a beautiful story I would love to share with you. They were looking for a New Testament. They knew we kept the New Testament there, because the first thing they came and said, open the storage, and the photos they had from the storage. But this is it was true for 2 years, I think. We had used that storage to hide the New Testament for distribution. But this is a beautiful thing, I tell you. Just 10 days before, my sister felt that we should move all these New Testaments. I remember she spoke to Fashid. I don't know, you know Fashid, our pastor, and he moved over 700 New Testament to another place. So my sister took them, and she had my sister took the police to the storage, and she had so much peace. I mean, she opened the door, it was empty. The police were so angry, so angry. And I remember the main guy called his boss on the phone. He said, "It's empty. There is no book here. It's empty. They empty the place."
Did they take you away with them?
Yes. Yeah, that night I was in solitary confinement. The first question they asked, it was, "What happened to you? Why you come to Christ? What happened? You grow up in an Islamic family. We knew your relative, your family." And I said, "Lord, what do I say? How do I say?" I was really shaking inside, So so much fear, because they were not nice with us, saying bad words, and the atmosphere there was really deep, really very deep. And I remember Holy Spirit told me that, right, tell them about me, right, what happened to you, tell them your story, the testimony, tell them the victories, write everything, what I did to you, what happened to you, tell about your family, how I visited them, how. And I remember I was writing. Some of my writing was sharing some verses from the Bible. The Bible said this, did. And in that time, when I finished the first question, I put my pencil down. I said, "Lord, I give this to your hands. You told me, and I write." And he this finished, and I went to the Evin prison, and I was in solitary confinement. This was the night 3 in solitary confinement. Lord reminded me something, that in December 26th, 70 leaders and pastors from underground churches from I think 30 cities we were working from Iran, they arrested. And in the night 3, I was weeping before the Lord. I was asking the Lord, and so alone, and felt so alone and lonely. Lord reminded of me something, that in 2010, 26 December, the governments of Islamic Republic heard 70 testimonies how you guys come to Christ. So this is all in my hands. Do not fear. I am here with you. You are not alone here. Stop crying here, because for a reason you are here. I will use these difficulties to glory myself. And this really happened. And in prison, I found out that it's not only one person reading this, there is a team. And I believe through all this testimony they are reading, God will visit them. Because the goal of our ministry when we as Fashid started to evangelize all over Iran and to give New Testament to all over Iranians in Iran. This was, we wanted to go this. And in prison, Lord told me that the part of Iran is authorities in Iran, the police, the ayatollahs, or the security police. So don't worry. And you know that Lord gave us, when I was in Isfahan, Lord told us that 7 cities from Isfahan start church planting. And before I go to prison, we planted the 6th. And the testimony is the 7th were planted while I was in prison. My disciple went to that city called Shahr-e-Kurd, and they take this risk while we all were in prison. They said, no, this vision was from the Lord, and we want to go to that place. They found a family in Shahr-e-Kurd, and they evangelized to them. They helped them to grow in their lives, in their and that family gave their house to them, and they said, okay, we are ready even to die for Jesus. Because my disciple, they were sharing that Sara is in prison, but this was our vision to plant here, and they plant. And the beautiful thing is that church in Shahr-e-Kurd is still growing. In Iran is a risk to share the gospel or invite people to the church, is a risk, but we do. People will do. Still people doing. But the free countries, I think, because of this freedom they have, they become like, I don't want to say dry, but they don't use this freedom for the Lord. No one cannot say to anybody here, you cannot invite one person from your relative to the church, but they don't do. Or no one cannot tell them, don't give a Bible to one person as a gift, but they don't do, And this is a just very, how can I say, easiest or basic thing that we can do. The people here in free countries can do. Go and share your testimony. Go and invite one person to the church. Go share the gospel, or talk about Jesus, or just talk about yourself. So and that's why I think we need to maybe wake up the churches to use this freedom for Christ. And John, 45 years ago, Iran, it was a free country. Go to the church or go to wherever they want. 45 years ago, Iran was like this. Who knew Iran could be one of the Islamic country that everything for Christ is forbidden? Nobody knew. And I always say that I hope I can explain good. Who knows, in the future a free country still be like this, still be free, because we never could imagine one time Iran could be closed for everything. So I want to say that we need to use this time, because we don't know the future, what would happen. We need to use the freedom, and we need to wake up the churches. Go at least one person, share with one person, and bring him or she to the church, and make them disciple, and just one person, not do big things. Yeah.